The following podcast contains spoilers and adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
The Showdown Podcast with Corey and Vic. A debate on what movie is better, Corey's choice versus Vic's choice. They each plead their case and try to destroy the others. It's a combat of subjective opinion. I'm Brad Scott, your impartial judge, and as always, my say is final. The Showdown Podcast presents episode 31, The Bob East Memorial Battle Royale. Today's combatants, the challenger, Victor Fuck the Police Miller, and his film, Police Academy, and his opponent, the reigning Showdown Podcast champion, Corey the Necrophiliac Miller, and his film, Weekend at Bernie's. Let us prepare to podcast. Welcome to the Showdown Podcast.
I'm not dead.
That is Bob East, our special guest referee. These are two films he has chosen, and they will be Police Academy and Weekend at Bernie's. Now, these films, like our last episode, share a common thread. Corey, why don't you tell them about that?
They're 80s movies?
There we go. All right. We are off to a great start. Welcome.
Single thread.
Welcome back. Bob East again is with us. He is a cartoon artist and illustrator.
All right,
he's the man responsible for the Showdown logo. And Bob, welcome back for an unprecedented third appearance.
Thank you.
That's a first.
He's
Really?
new
Let me
Steve
point
Martin.
out, though, that I'm not dead, but if I were dead or when I die, I fully expect Corey and Vic to carry me around like dead Bernie to parties wearing glasses.
And
like
conventions.
Yes.
We could do that with your career after this episode.
Exactly.
That's what our show does. It destroys people's livelihoods.
We can take him to cons and
right.
tie his arm to ours. And
Actually,
Oh my God, we are so doing
I
that
have
at the
never
next con
seen
now.
that. Would be
Put
the
a pen in his
best-
hand with a rope and just have him
Dude,
scrawl
I
on the
can
thing.
grow the
That
Bernie
would be
mustache.
the best cosplay. I've never seen anybody do
No,
Weekend
we're
at
doing
Bernie's.
that next
is
time.
fantastic.
I'm growing the Bernie mustache.
That's
you
a
guys
brilliant
carrying me
idea.
around places. We'll get like a wheelchair or something you can push me around in. And just... No, it's gonna be. I was moving my arms.
That's great.
For the people that don't aren't watching this on YouTube because we're not recording the video.
You just wonder what's going to happen when the actor Terry Kaiser actually dies. I mean,
The guy that played Bernie, I think,
Yeah.
in context. Is he still alive?
still
Good for him. So, welcome back, gang. This is episode 31. Again, it's Police Academy versus Weekend at Bernie's, and Corey is the current champion. He is elected to defer. So, Vic will once again lead us off, and hopefully you enjoy this movie, or maybe you can find something nice to say about your film.
I prefer you not.
1984 is when my movie came out as Police Academy.
1984! Oh, it's 89. Sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it's a whole other thing. But this movie, 1984, came in the box office first place against greats like freaking Ghostbuster. To beat Ghostbusters in the box office, that's impressive. Because I know for a fact...
I was getting ready to say, I don't remember the film Ghostbuster. Thought there was...
Really? Anyway.
that was the one.
You're
where
gonna
it was
bust
only
my
one-
ass, really?
It was just Egon. It failed miserably.
No black guys in that one either. God damn it. Busting my ass right. Anyway, to be able to beat Ghostbusters in the box office, considering how big that movie was.
I do have a question, though. How many, what week was Ghostbusters? Was this like Ghostbusters 54th week?
No,
in
they
theaters?
came out the same week.
Oh, they came out...
They came out the same
started
week.
ahead?
They came out the same week, and the first week's box office
That is
sales.
very impressive.
It beat. So, anyway.
Sounds
moving on.
Sounds like somebody's using the same thing IMDb did. Good for you, Vic. Go ahead. This movie is so
fucking
close to your heart.
derailing me.
Tell us more about the things you know.
Anyway.
Just common knowledge to you.
I took a page out of your book. So the movie is about a group of misfit cadets that go to a police academy. The reason why they are accepted in the police academy is because this new mayor has decided that she wants to stop excluding people who want to be in the police academy but don't fit the model of the traditional police cadet, which, according to the police commandant, not commandant, what do they call him? The police chief. That they need to be white, male, they have to have penises, they have to be white, they have to be strong. He doesn't like the fact that this new mayor is allowing anybody of any race, shape, color into the academy. Because when he went to the academy, there was a whole nother type of people going through. So he's, much like you, Corey, a racist. So, however, I don't think he's a necrophiliac, so you might be okay from there.
I got one up on him.
So, Steve Guttenberg, the Goot, is in this movie. Kim Cattrall, and you know her better.
Man, that dude was the balls in the 80s.
Yes, he was
Gutenberg
in just
was
about
the
everything,
fucking
and
man,
everybody
dude.
had
Then
it.
the 90s happened.
People talk shit. Bet you that dude plowed through so much pussy in the 80s. I bet it was just cocaine and pussy every night.
I'm pretty sure he
his
got
life.
into Kim Cattrall, who we know from Sex and the City and many other things, which is kind of funny that that's the one thing that everybody seems to remember her from. Not necessarily in our circles, but because she was in Star Trek, she was in a bunch of other things, but you
Big
know,
Trouble in Little China.
right now they're like, right now they're like, oh yeah, that lady's from fucking Sex and the City, but you know, Bubba Smith played Lieutenant Hightower, Cadet Hightower. Yeah, he did pass away. He was not the greatest actor in the world, but in this movie, though, like it didn't matter that he wasn't the greatest actor because they only gave him like little bit pieces to say because they knew he couldn't act, but they were just like, grab that guy's shoulder, you know, give him a bad dirty look,
Flip
and
that
he
car
did
over.
it so he did it so well. One of my favorite people in this entire movie is Michael Winslow. He played Monsignor Lavelle Jones, MD, who was arrested at the same time Gutenberg was brought into the police station and had the ability to mimic any sound in the world and still does to this day. I don't know how old that dude is right now.
It still sells out.
It is amazing
Sells out
what
small
he can
clubs,
do.
Still.
It is amazing what that dude can do with a fucking
300
microphone.
theaters, he sells out consistently. It's impressive.
I saw a clip on something. He had a special microphone made that has a built-in speaker, amplifier, and speaker in it, and just for his shows that he can do, so he can just walk around and do it. But like, it was amazing. And that actual that voice synthesizer he has in there was the start of that. Having that made. But it's hilarious. Like he's like, so what are you in here for? And he just sets off like a machine gun chain in the police station, which apparently he's been in there enough that they know that he's doing it, but they still all drop to the fucking floor like he wasn't there. But the characters, G.W. Bailey, who plays the commandant for the training, the main training officer for the academy, he's hilarious. He's probably one of the most ridiculously retarded slapstick per people I've ever seen in movies, especially in the 80s. Like most of the things he's in, he's usually just plays like the fall guy to every freaking stupid joke there is.
Who's this you're talking about?
What's his fucking name? Harris.
Talking about Commandant Lipson?
No, Harris.
Oh, Harris.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He was in Mannequin.
Yeah, and what did he do? He was the security guard in that, and what did he do? In the entire thing, he was just pratfall after pratfall after pratfall. He's hilarious. So the storyline goes basically Gutenberg's character Mahoney gets in trouble all the time. His dad was a cop, and they're trying his dad's buddy wants to keep him out of trouble. So he tells him like, I can't keep you out of trouble anymore. You keep getting in trouble, I'm sending you to the police academy. And since they're letting anybody in, you're going. You can't leave, but you can get kicked out. So he's figuring I can get out of there in about 12 hours, no big deal. So he goes. He talks him into taking Laval with him. LeVar with him to go. They all get there. There's just like the weirdest group of people you'll ever see show up for the first day. They get them all there. They start going through training, and all of them are just complete failures at life for one reason or another. There's one chick in there who can't speak above a whisper. There's Hightower who just is too tall to live. There's the guy who's just accident prone and fucks everything up. Rides to the academy with his wife on the hood and just about kills everybody in the process.
Tackleberry that wants to shoot everything.
The military guy with no military experience that has more guns than the fucking military shows up, and it's just hilarious. Like everything that happens from start to finish. Like this movie starts out funny, it goes through, it's funny, it ends funny. So the storyline goes that they're training to be cadets. They're going through all the things that have to be done to become police officers. And they obviously are failing, and they're supposed to fail. Harris is supposed to get them all kicked out so that they don't make it into the police force, so they don't have to deal with him. But through the course of things, Mahoney manages to thwart everything Harris does to make them all fail. Harris gets these two guys, Blanket and what's the other dude's name?
Blanket. Michael Jackson's kid?
No, not Michael Jackson's kid. It's just one of the guys. Blanket and Copeland. He gets these two guys who are just straight-laced, kind of what they want to be cops to do all of his dirty work, and tries to get them all in trouble and cause problems for them. Through the course of it, they also end up becoming victims of Mahoney's quick mind. He talks them into, he actually tricks them into going into a gay bar, the Blue Oyster Club, which is kind of a very iconic thing for any comedy. When you hear that music from the Blue Oyster Club, you know that that's from Police Academy. Da, 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 da. That you know that that's what that's from.
Keep going.
So he gets them in there. What?
Keep going. I just want to see how far you can go with that song.
So he gets in there. You know, they get stuck with the assless chapped bikers that are all wanting to dance with them and everything, and they take off with their thing. So as they find that these guys are failures and not able to really become police officers in the correct right, they actually start to learn to really become police officers, and they learn some of the skills that they need to become real, cadets. And a riot breaks out in the city. They're like, okay, this is where we're going to get rid of these fools. This is how we can get rid of them. Let's get them out there. Let's let them fuck up so badly that we can kick them all out and get rid of them. And by accident, they end up getting put right in the epicenter of the riot. In which they were found because they heard this noise and they chased it down and they got there and they found out that Wildor was waiting on the tower. So they get to the...
We're going to know when you're going to do it.
They get to the center of town, and they start taking on all these guys. And some of the things that they'd run into as they were trying to train that they had been failing at, this real-life experience, putting them into the actual mix of things, they figure out that they can actually do what they've been training for, even though they failed at it at the academy. So things like Hooks, the chick that can't speak over a whisper, she starts screaming at these guys, the top of her lungs, and scares the crap out of them. Hightower, who's actually kicked out for punching one of the guys because he basically doesn't like racists, so he would have knocked you out, Corey, but,
It'd be an honor.
There you go. So he knocks him out and he gets kicked out. But then when they're about to, a couple crooks are about to take out Mahoney and them, he steps up and they're like, "Oh, this guy's here to help us." And he ends up flattening the guys and helps them get out of trouble. So by the end of everything, they all kind of prove that they have what it takes to become police officers, and they actually manage to become cadets. Huh?
They actually managed to get 6 sequels.
Exactly. So they managed to become cadets. They actually get awarded the highest commendation that a cadet can get from the police academy, which obviously does not make Harris or the chief of police happy. And come the end of the movie.
Is this like Major League with cops?
Yeah, kind of. If you want to go in that direction.
Like, oh, we'll assemble the worst because they'll fail. But
Well, no.
they're all like,
that's much Major
they're like
League was,
taking off pieces of the Chief's clothing after every bust.
Well, that was Callahan. I don't think it was the chief. It was the Callahan the chick that was training them how to do self defense. That they all decided they wanted to screw. But they all had their different reasons for going. Some of them had to. Some of them wanted to prove that they were manly enough or prove that they were better than what they were. But by the end of it, they all proved that they were good cadets, and they all passed and went on to become police officers. So it was a good movie. It was funny. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
The one thing it's missing Bobcat Goldthwait.
He's in the sequel.
Because he's in the sequel. Yeah, I know.
They keep adding to it as it goes along.
Yeah,
They can't put them all in the first one.
Yeah.
Bobcat wasn't big in '84. Like, he had his own stuff going on at that time.
What was that one horse movie? I think that was Hot to Trot. I think that was after Police Academy too. But I like Police Academy. I didn't watch it this week. I've seen it like recently. So, but I like it. It's always been one of my favorite '80s films. But I still think I don't know. It's just not for me. It is for me, but it's just not one of my favorites.
You can't talk bad about it, is what you're trying to say.
There's really no. I mean, it's a comedy. There's really not a lot bad you can say. I mean, it's.
Did
funny.
it make you laugh, Corey?
Well, yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
I went.
No, because I haven't even talked about mine yet. Mine is Weekend at Bernie's, and this to me is not a comedy. I see Weekend at Bernie's as a drama. Yes, really? I know.
What?
Yes.
What?
Now hear me out. If you look on IMDb and you ask people, they all think it's a comedy. While if you watch this film as a 10 or 12-year-old or whenever it came out, and or even when it came out, and we were that age. Yeah, we think it's funny because they're dragging a dead body around, and he's doing different things. Oh, that's funny. It's a kid. Yeah, that's funny. But I'm watching it as an almost 40-year-old now, and I see it as a drama. And here's why. You got two guys who are working for a company, and I think it's New York. I'm not sure if it specifically said. But they're working for a company in New York, and they find out that
it is because Jones Bees. There's mention.
Yeah, okay. And they find out that there's somebody that they're paying for. They're spending extra money on this person who's dead, and so it's like so they bring it to their boss, Bernie, and he's like, "Great job." But later on. You find out that Bernie goes and he's been spending money on this person because that money is actually going to the mob. Now, see, there's nothing funny here. I can see this. I can see this happening in any kind of drama. John Grisham movie could be written this way. So anyhow, he's like, you got to kill these two dudes because they know. And he's like, all right, we'll do it. But when he leaves, it's like, kill Bernie. Don't kill those two. So that happens, and now these two guys find out once they get out. He had invited them out to his beach house, which I have to say is one ugly-ass beach house. I don't know if it was really nice in the 80s, but it was really freaking ugly. But anyhow, they get out there, and they find out that he's dead. Now... There's no comedy in this. You just found a dead body, and now you're going the whole weekend trying to pretend that he's alive, so you can actually party and live his life for the weekend.
So you're trying to make me.
Okay, wait. Okay. So they're not keeping him alive because they want to party. They're keeping him alive because they don't want to get killed. See. They find a video, a phone message where the killer is after Bernie's dead is going after them. So, but he tells them, do not kill these two guys while Bernie's around. So they figure as long as Bernie's around, they won't kill us.
Yeah.
So they have to pretend he's alive.
Yeah. So and then,
hold on, I got another question for you. No. See, this is why we have this question, because Gildor says you're driving me crazy with this. You're going to tell me that you're looking at this like a drama.
Yes.
An insurance scam drama, like the Thomas Crown affair, which is an insurance drama. Please draw me the parallels between those two movies, because this is not a drama in any way, shape, or form. This is a comedy.
You got two
But
guys that
every
are trying to
comedy
survive.
is a drama on some level, because you could look at Police Academy and say, okay, the city's we're having a problem with our police officers. We want to, if you played that whole story out as a drama, it could be a drama.
If it was another movie, it wouldn't be Police Academy. If it was
But
that,
the story would be the same. The exact same story played as a drama would be a drama.
but it wouldn't be the movie. It would not be this movie.
Right.
The way I see it as a drama is, as an almost 40-year-old, I didn't find any of the quote-unquote jokes that a 10-year-old me would find funny. I'll be honest. I've only seen parts of this up until this week.
So you didn't find any of your movie funny?
Not really. I found it more dramatic than funny.
So you were on the edge of your seat watching this movie.
Doesn't mean I was on the edge of my seat.
Well, that's what a drama is.
You're
There's no way in hell that you were looking at this thinking of
So you're saying,
Yeah.
no, because a drama is like you were in this movie. Like dramas
A
like
dead
got your
guy
attention.
I do
tied
watch
to
dramas
some-
relaxed.
So a dead guy tied to some boat skis, hitting some dinghies. Ping!
I honestly
Funny to
didn't
you?
think anybody could do a worse argument than Vic did last episode. But I'll be
Yeah, again,
damned, you
I-
son of a bitch.
Once again, I'm happy to
You
defend the
did
movie.
it. You did it. Yep, Weekend at Bernie's. Schindler's List, same thing.
Yeah, I stick by it. I think this was a drama and a decent one at that.
So what happens next, Corey?
So,
They're-
Andrew McCarthy has Bernie's arm tied
No.
to a
Hold on.
string.
Hold on,
And he's
Bob.
lifting it to weigh.
Hold on, Bob.
That's not comedy?
The chick walks in and she's like, "Oh, where's Bernie at? He's in the room."
Right.
She walks in the room. Bang, bang, bang. They're
Yeah.
both like looking at her like, is she really in there having sex with that guy? And they're looking at each other like, I think
Yeah.
she's in there having sex with that guy. She comes out like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever had. Drama?
So no, Corey, wait.
I know it's
wait,
necrophilia.
Hold on. Give them a chance. So
Yeah.
they've discovered Bernie's dead, and they have to carry on this charade.
Yeah.
So what happens next, Corey? Please
Well,
unfold
once they find
this
out,
Shakespearean-like tragedy.
yes, they find out, and these random people show up, and they have a party for the entire day, while they are trying to make it seem like he is alive by moving his hand and nodding his head for him. Everybody believes it, and then the hitman that thought he was dead sees him and comes back. So now you've got this dramatic instance where, he thinks that he's alive, and he knows that he's still gonna. He doesn't have to kill the two dudes. He's not instructed to. Shut up. And so he is actually coming back after them. They hear the message and think, this guy is going to kill us if Bernie's around. So they continue that, but he's still coming after them either way. They could get caught in the crossfire. It is a drama.
Now, I want to put this theory to test, because what I have up right now is on the iPad is the Weekend at Bernie's theatrical trailer. Now we're going to listen,
Oh God!
and I just want to see if we get a fefeeling that this is a drama or a comedy. I honestly have not heard. I'm not like setting you up by any means.
I know where it's going to go.
No, I'm
because
kind of
I know
interested to test
I know how it was
this theory.
marketed.
I'm kind of, maybe, who knows, maybe it starts off with chung chung, dun 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, we'll see. Maybe,
All right,
we'll
go
see.
for
Here
it.
we go.
Don't you see? We just uncovered a $2 million error. We're going to be heroes. We're going up the corporate ladder.
It appears as if somebody's trying to defraud the company.
Somebody tried to smoke it past the wrong guy.
Very, very good work.
How would you two like to come to my house at the beach?
Love to.
For Larry and Richard,
How are you?
this is a place to die for.
You have to kill them, Vito.
A little rusty, but it'll come back to me.
What? We just walk in?
But what they don't realize
No, let's stand out here all weekend. Come on, we're house guests.
is while they're checking in,
Forget the accident with the two guys. Take care of Lomax.
Bernie Lomax will be checking out.
Oh, my God. What kind of a host invites you to his house for the weekend and dies on you? Lomax told whoever he's talking to not to kill us if he's around, right?
Yeah, but Lomax is dead. He's not around anybody anymore.
I know that. You know that. Nobody else knows that. Huh? It looks good enough. Let's go. Uh-oh. Larry, what? Huh?
Really?
Hi, Bernie.
Hey, Bernie, just like last week, huh?
Oh, Bernie, you animal, you insatiable.
Doesn't anyone realize he's dead?
Load the boat. Got him? On the boat.
Vito, I'm telling you, Lomax is alive. Maybe Paulie is rustier than we thought.
Ooh, Bernie, you're starting to peel. Want to get you out of the sun, huh?
Oh, is that the killer?
How do I know, Richard? Should I stop and ask him?
No, just drive.
Surfing time.
Like a fucking water pinball game.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Are we doing it again today?
Oh, absolutely. You know we are.
Great. We'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, ladies. We'll see you later. This is great or what?
Okay, so don't let the island music that's playing through the entire trailer fool you. Now, I also want to point out there is a scene where they're vacuuming his hair off of his head, followed by a scene where they're then stapling said hair onto his head.
Comedy fucking
And
gold.
then an entire scene of him being dragged behind a speedboat, hitting buoy after buoy. Concluding with the infamous raising of the hand, followed by swatting a fly off his face. But again, Corey, tell us again about
The drama that is.
I think Ingmar
I'm
Bergman
surprised
films
TNT
like that.
doesn't play a marathon of this, because they know drama.
Let me tell you, if you get rid of that corny ass music that's playing through,
You still have
and
them
you
vacuuming
just
his hair,
No,
Corey.
no. If you don't, all you do is just listen to the audio. Don't even think about, or don't even watch the video itself, because from where I was sitting, I couldn't see the video, and I would just listen to the dialogue.
You're
It
sad.
plays as a drama.
But so does Leslie Nielsen when he does his lines in The Naked Gun. He reads them like a drama.
Well, yeah, that's what he was
funny.
supposed to, though. I'm just saying the way. Well,
No, complete
know what-
that sentence. Finish that sentence, Corey.
You know what I think
Finish
happened?
that sentence.
You know what I think happened? I'm going to be honest. You know what I think happened? I think he got this. This is the copy of Weekend at Bernie's. I don't think it's been opened
You think it's-
since it was dropped off. I don't think he watched the movie. I think he read the Wikipedia rundown of the movie and decided, you know what? I'm going to just go out on a limb and pitch it as it's not a screwball comedy. It's a dramatic thriller. And I think after that trailer, he halfway through realized.
I would think. Here's what I think. I would agree that either you're correct, he didn't watch it, or B, he just flat out didn't find it funny.
There's no way he didn't find anything in that
No,
movie funny.
the trailer was cracking me up. I want to watch this movie tonight.
But I understand. I understand how it could be. I understand the underlying story could be done as a drama, but
You can do that with
anything.
anything.
I mean, Some Like It Hot.
Dumb
is
and
not
Dumber.
The song, the movie Some Like It Hot with Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon. That's a very dark, dramatic story, but it's a comedy.
Dumb and Dumber could be two guys who are running from their lives, unaware that assassins are after them. I mean, if that's the game we can play, then there is no comedy.
No such thing at all.
But there is something called unprepared.
oh no, I was prepared. This is totally.
So continue. So they're showing him off and around. And,
So they're showing. Yeah. So the killer ends up showing back up at the house. They mistake the gardener and one other dude as the killer, knock them out, tie them up, and put them in a closet. The girl that I haven't even mentioned.
Let me say that I would never want either of you two as a lawyer, because you have neither one of you have the ability to convince anybody of anything that you don't believe.
Your client.
Like-
No, you're on. Client shooting him.
I mean,
It's
he
just,
probably
come on, I
did
like
that.
my movie.
it's a misdemeanor at most.
It just depends on the client, you know.
Right.
So there's a girl that was a temp that worked at the same office, and
My client wouldn't get the needle for this episode.
so she shows up at the party. So she's on that beach for the weekend as well, and he finally, Jonathan Silverman's character finally tells her that he's dead, that Bernie's dead, and that's when the real killer shows up, and they start. He goes after him. He's eventually arrested because they tie him up. I can't remember now. Anyhow,
Can't remember?
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't seen the movie in 15 years, it's probably...
I'm telling you, this is the first time I watched it was yesterday, all the way through. But anyhow, the cops end up showing up. They had called him before that guy showed up, and then it ends.
Paulie.
It ends up, yeah. He ends up
The worst assassin in the world.
yeah, he was. And but anyhow, they start to wheel off Bernie's body, and he's left on the gurney, and the gurney rolls away, and that ends with him sitting on the beach.
Hey there, Showdown listeners. It's commercial time. All right, you can follow the Showdown on Twitter at the Showdown Pod. Like us on Facebook. Check out our YouTube page and see all the cool stuff we do there. Your host, referee, judge, jury, executioner, Brad Scott at Indie Brad Scott on Twitter, and BradScottComedy.com for all your scheduling and merchandise needs as well. Our special guest, Bob East. Where can we find you?
Artofbeast.com. I'm on Facebook and Twitter, Art of Beast. Also check out my independent horror film on Facebook, Hit Fire with Hell. Give it a like.
Corey?
You can find me on Instagram, Letterboxd, and Twitter at MKOgonzo.
And you can find me, Vic Miller, at MillerKing51 on Twitter and Instagram, and on Xbox One at Black and Angry. That's BLAQ and Angry.
All right. Stay tuned for today's winner. We'll be back soon. All right, welcome back. We have taken some time. We've deliberated. Bob, have you reached your decision?
I've reached my decision.
Okay, you're the guest, so go ahead.
The winner is Vic with his Police Academy argument, and against Corey, basically had no argument. So
I tried.
Again, I think it's a situation where you had to defend a movie that you didn't feel like defending. So,
it's. I'll rebut. I'll wait for Brad's decision.
No, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I don't want it to affect your decision. It's not going to affect your decision.
Okay, all right. You know what?
Okay, here. I was just going to say that, I didn't think most of the stuff in it was funny. You're right. And so I looked at it in a different light and saw it as a drama. And so that's the way I, watched the whole thing. And for a drama, it wasn't bad. And that's why I try to defend it this way. So, I tried. Whatever. But, yes, I did watch it yesterday. As some people tend to not believe.
Okay. Here's the thing. I originally was going to give the win to Corey.
No, I knew I should have kept my mouth shut.
You should have. Because you started off by saying it's not funny. And that was my whole reason as to actually going to pick you, is because I like Weekend at Bernie's that much more than I like Police Academy. And you almost fucked it up.
Well, it sounds like I did. It sounds like...
I'm still giving you the win.
Oh!
Vic, was it? You weren't passionate enough about Police Academy to overturn my bias for Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh my God!
I love Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh my
I love
God.
that movie. It's
Wait, hold up. But see, I didn't think that's how the show works.
It's not about your love for the movie.
Because my favorite movie of the two is Weekend at Bernie's, but I was unbiased and went with who had the better argument. Just like on the last podcast, Psycho to me is way better than Texas Chainsaw, but I go with who I had the stronger argument.
And the start of the podcast, as you mentioned last time, is an unbiased decision.
But as a judge, you can judge however you want. So
I'm an utter.
You bring up a really good point,
Here it comes. Oh my god!
Obviously, you haven't figured out how the show works.
You really gave him the win because you liked the movie better.
Yeah.
He didn't even argue. He didn't even argue one point. You have literally voted against me because of what he just did.
I'm not gonna lie. I agree. I am
literally
just
voted
as
against
shocked
me.
as you are. I am just as shocked as you are.
Oh my gosh!
But it is an upset. It's a big upset. Because it was a horrible argument. It really was.
Oh my god!
But you know what? I've got to tell you though, I've got to give you props because Weekend at Bernie's, I agree, is
it's so much better of a movie that
I love Weekend at Bernie's so much.
Honestly, I honestly thought he was gonna fuck it up too. I did. Like he tried.
He literally just told you that it sucked.
I know.
This is ridiculous.
Which should show you how much.
You have literally voted against me
show you how much
less than what this fool has done tonight.
Show you how much I don't like police again.
Oh my god!
Well, I don't get
Talk about robbing the black man.
The one thing I don't understand is how anybody could see Weekend at Bernie's but anything but a comedy. I can see there's some dramatic stuff in it, but how can you not see the comedy in it? I mean, it's such a slapstick comedy.
Why do I feel like this is the type of game where they're going to have to take the referee out with a coat over his head with security all around and put me in like a police
You're going to have to put a fucking bulletproof vest on you when they do that.
I know. I'm just as shocked, Vic.
Oh my god!
It caught me as off guard as it caught you.
So we have another tie.
There's no way in hell it should be a tie. I have taken losses with a grain of salt, but this one is fucking chafing my ass. Hardcore.
Well,
hard fucking core.
You know, it's weird, Vic. I felt the same way when I was talking about white men can't jump.
Bullshit.
And blue chips beat me.
Bullshit.
Remember that?
Bullshit, but that was on merit, not on fucking I like the movie better.
No, but your exact words were, Blue Chips is more of a basketball movie.
That wasn't Blue Chips. That was not that one.
I
don't think it was.
White men can't jump. You said so yourself. It's more of like a racial thing. And blah, 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 blah. I remember.
I don't think so.
I listened to the show.
Yeah.
You're going to say whatever you can to keep your win shit.
Oh, man.
Jesus.
Now, I mean, this should be one of those moments where you can cash in money in the bank. If you could throw another argument out, you probably were one thing away from knocking them out. But man, Weekend at Bernie's is that good. So we have a split decision, which, as we know, split decision means champion keeps the belt.
Yes,
have to beat the champ
under protest.
Yeah, big time under protest.
So Corey is still our champion.
My head hurts from laughing too much.
Let's
it's your drama.
So yeah, I'm surprised you didn't find that whole scenario to be sad.
I felt bad for him. He really thought that he had the win.
Corey tells people about me. He's like, no, I got this friend. He does poetry. His name is Brad. He does poetry at Crackers.
Yeah.
You know that
spoken word.
That spoken word club in Rotterdam?
Yes, this material is
very sad. Weekend at Bernie's is an all-time classic. And we know that Hollywood loves to remake classic movies. So if you were going to remake Weekend at Bernie's this year, you are in charge of casting. Who is your Bernie and your two other guys? So you have, and I want to. What are their names? It's
Anna McCarthy.
No. But what are
the character? Who are the actual character? The actual people.
It's
I forget their names. I don't even think it says it on there.
You know what's weird? They put Gwen's name, Bernie's name, but they call them the pair star as ambitious young employees.
Larry Wilson and Richard Parker.
Yeah, Larry and Richard.
Richard Parker.
Is Larry's the fun-loving one, right? Like the happy-go-lucky guy?
Yeah.
Is Richard's the Jonathan Silverman?
Larry is Andrew McCarthy. And Richard Parker is Jonathan Silverman. That's a Life of Pi reference. Thank you.
Wait, so which one's the serious one?
Jonathan Silverman.
And that's
it.
Richard.
Yes.
So I was right.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying I'm right, you just repeated the information to make it sound confusing.
You want to know something? I wasn't listening.
Okay. So Richard and Larry and Bernie. Who's your Richard, Larry, and Bernie?
Start with him. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I was sitting there trying to figure this out. I kind of thought... Go.
I would actually, this is kind of out there, but I would love to see Nicolas Cage as Bernie. I just think that would be a hoot. It's an odd choice, but...
No, because you got to have Nicolas Cage talk.
Yeah. But he can pull off the hair, though.
Yeah. Or you can pull off his hair.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen his hair in his last several films? It should have its own screen credit of its own. I was thinking...
I had a feeling Nicolas Cage would make it so that like Bernie wasn't really dead. he
would just get up and start screaming at people.
Yeah. I think Larry and Richard, they've got to be guys probably in their late 20s to early 30s. My first thought was I can't remember the dude's name that was Eric Christian Olsen. Is that his name? He was in he's on one of the TV shows right now. Hold on, let me pull him up real quick. Eric Christian Olsen. He's on NCI Los Angeles right now. He was in not another teen movie. He was in Dumb and Dumberer. He was one of the either Harry or Lloyd. He did a few episodes on Community. He was in Beer Fest. Really funny guy. I was also thinking too, Sean William Scott maybe.
I have two. You're just naming actors. I don't know who you have playing what.
You can have Sean William Scott playing Andrew McCarthy's character, Larry.
And so, who did you have as Richard?
I also. Or
who did you have as Bernie?
As Bernie.
Who was the guy you were just talking about? Because I wasn't listening to you.
Okay.
Who
Eric
did you have him
Christian
play?
Olsen. He could play.
Oh, so you're giving us two Larrys and nothing of the rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of those two guys playing Larry.
I'll tell you who I'd like to see. Let's stick with Larry. I'll tell you who'd make a great Larry. James Roday from Psych.
Yes.
Is who I would put as Larry.
Yes. I think I may have the best. I think I may have the best, though. I really do. I'm just working on... I have two, and I have, for the second one... Hey, don't be looking over here.
Because it's like my Bernie would be... Bryan Cranston would make a great Bernie. From Breaking Bad.
I could see that. I could see that.
James Roday, Bryan Cranston, and then I'm not sure who I would have as...
I think for Jonathan Silverman's character, you got to go with somebody with dark hair again. I think even though you don't want to cast the same guys, but at least have them with the same.
What, a blonde and a brunette?
Yeah, exactly.
Here's my first trio. Right?
Okay.
It's a Hangover reunion.
Okay.
The guy I think is perfect for Bernie, Zach Galifianakis.
Okay.
Larry, I would go with Bradley Cooper, and Ed Helms would be my Richard. That's almost perfect.
Okay.
Bradley Cooper as the crazy, who cares, whatever
Except
guy.
Other than I'm sick of Bradley Cooper already.
Yeah, I think you'd run into.
He still does great work. I can't stand that. I can't stand that. I'm sick of him. Sure. If they're still doing great work,
I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue that point, and I'm also not going to argue the fact that they wouldn't be good. But you're going to have a lot of flack as far as a PR thing goes, having the three of them in another movie together. Because
I thought we were talking about who would
just who they want, who that person wants.
I'm not actually pitching this to a studio.
I know.
It's would they be good for the movie?
Oh yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah, we're not talking budget. I mean, you're going to be paying $25 million a piece.
I don't give it.
Where are you going to find the finances for that, Brad? Who's your EP? Jesus Christ!
you know
It's a fucking
who else
hypothetical
would be
question.
good with I'd have James Roday, Bryan Cranston. I'd get Taron Killam from SNL.
Oh, for Richard?
Yeah,
that would be a
Taron
good Richard.
Killam.
My other one, and I'm still kind of struggling on the Bernie, but my Larry is Adam Sandler. My Richard is Will Ferrell. And that's the Bernie. I was thinking maybe Jim Carrey. Because here's the thing, Bernie or Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen would be my Bernie.
Charlie Sheen would be a good.
It would be Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler, Charlie Sheen. I'm all in with that.
Alec Baldwin would make a good Bernie too.
I think he'd make a good Bernie at the beginning. I don't think he'd make a good
Physical
dead
comedy,
Bernie. Yeah, because he's just too cool and he's stiff. He plays really well stiff.
Yeah.
Whereas Charlie Sheen, if you put, I bet people have thought he was like dead when they've been at his parties and just like
they're like on this.
Is there any strings from that?
What do you think?
I got nothing. I'm no good at this game.
All right, what if you do?
With an all-black cast.
I was saying that.
No, like Michael B. Jordan was one of the people I picked already, so I was actually going there.
Eddie Murphy.
I was going there.
Bernie.
I was going there. No, I wouldn't do Eddie Murphy as Bernie. I think if you're gonna do it,
Tay Diggs.
what? It's not funny at all.
What?
I forgot. You're casting a drama. I forgot.
Yeah. You didn't see what's that movie with Jamie Kennedy and Tay Diggs? Fuck it. Move on.
You know who would be a great Black Bernie? Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
Because he can play straight enough as the businessman who's a dick, and then he can do physical comedy for the rest of the movie.
And we haven't seen him in about 15 years, so...
There's a TV show on just like last season.
Did he?
Yeah.
When?
With Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer. They were lawyers.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who would be... great in the movie Weekend at Bernie's?
Malibu's Most Wanted. That's
Bill Cosby.
Oh,
you say Malibu's Most Wanted?
Yeah, that's what Tay Diggs was in. He did.
You know who I think.
Somebody gets drunk.
I'll tell you who would make the best Black Bernie for Weekend at Bernie's. Bernie Mac. I mean, he totally.
Oh God,
nails
Bernie
the
Mac.
dead
Yeah.
thing. I mean, he's dead already, so they just
He's all
dig
set.
him up.
I think that might be a little messy.
Yeah.
If he were alive, he would be a good Bernie.
Oh Jesus!
And if you're going all time, then I'd go like Peter Sellers would make a great Bernie. If you go classic all time,
I gotta get that one like more readily available. Tracy Morgan would make a legit Bernie.
Tracy Morgan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see that one. Yeah.
Who would be the other two guys?
It would need to. What's his name?
I mean, Samuel L. Jackson has to be in the movie in some form or fashion.
Well, he would be the mob boss. He'd be the mob boss.
Mob guy.
Yeah,
he'd be the mob boss. And what's his name?
Jason Sudeikis might make a good Larry.
No, you know who would make the perfect Black Larry and Richard? Marlon and Sean Wayans. It's the characters that are playing their entire lives.
Yeah, that's true.
Sean is the uptight, suave, coolish guy who's a little bit dorky, and Marlon is the...
Why is it not coming to me? Fucking, I can't think of him. He's in everything right now. Short dude. I can't think of his name.
Don Cheadle?
Kevin Hart.
Yeah. Kevin Hart would make a good Bernie.
What if you did, like you said, the Wayans brothers and then a white dude? Then you got some interracial comedy.
Emma Stone would have to be the chick because I gotta have a white chick. So.
Would Seth Rogen be good?
No.
In this movie?
Wait, what do you have against Seth Rogen? Jesus, you were quick about kicking him.
No.
Good
No,
God.
I think James Franco and Seth Rogen would be a good Larry Richard combo.
Now, yeah, that would be interesting. They play pretty well off each other.
And then you can make Jonah Hill Bernie.
All right.
Is that what I'm doing, Richard? Am I dying? And you're just going to kick me around and put my hands up, Richard? Is that what's going to go on? That's my Jonah Hill impression.
Okay. All right. Well,
Jim Carrey would be the only person that could overact Bernie.
But physically, though, he could do all that physical complex stuff that Bernie did. You know,
What
I'm
80s?
trying to figure out who. I'm waiting for him to give us who would be the dramatic leads in
There
your
you go.
casting
Okay, there
of
you
Weekend
go.
at Bernie's.
Drama.
yeah.
Al Pacino would be
As Bernie.
Silverman's role. Oh, he could be Bernie.
No,
Yeah.
I'd say Pacino as Bernie. Then you could go. Let's see. Go Chris Pine as Richard. And no, I guess yeah, as Richard. And Larry would be. Let me try. I'm trying to think of some dramatic actors.
Clooney.
No, too old. Too old.
He would make a good Bernie.
Matt Damon.
I make a good Bernie in the actual comedy
Matt Damon
version.
and Ben Affleck.
In the comedy version, not the drama version.
Matt Damon and Chris Pine as Richard and Larry, and then Al Pacino as Bernie.
Jason Bateman would be a good Richard.
Yeah.
He'd be a really good Richard.
Yeah, but again, I think he's a little too old. I think
You could do the Jason Bateman.
you got to keep these guys a little bit
Sudeikis,
younger.
recast too with those.
Yeah,
guys.
Sudeikis
The two of them
and- yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
the fucking other
Charlie.
guy, Charlie is Bernie. Charlie.
Why am
Day
I
could be a good
spacing
Bernie.
on his real name?
Who?
Charlie Day?
Is
Charlie
it
Day?
Charlie Day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just say that?
No, he said Charlie.
Oh, okay.
I said
thought-
Charlie Day.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said it right before I asked why am I spacing on his real name.
Yeah. So, we were going to talk about other '80s things we.
No, 80s movies you'd like to see made.
Yes.
I'd like to see a Thundercats movie.
I would second that.
Who do you cast in the Thundercats?
Is it animated or not?
No. Live action.
Live action.
I mean, The Rock's got to be lying, though,
It's
right? No, Panthro. The Rock's Panthro. He already looks like Panthro. Holy shit.
The Rock is Panther.
That's racist. No, have you?
He's only half black.
I don't know. I think seeing it in real life is just weird.
Yeah.
Because I've seen pictures of people that have done costumes. They've done cosplay as some of the Thundercats and done really good jobs. But at the same time, it's like, oh god, that's freaking weird. One that I've been wanting for a long ass time, and I can't believe, especially after how much money Transformers made, and even G.I. Joe to an extent. Why has Mask never been made to?
They could definitely
in real
make
life?
that movie.
You talking about with
T-Bob.
No,
Rocky?
not with Rocky. I knew you were going there. No. No, but as a side note, I saw somebody had made a T-shirt. It's Rocky from Mask with wearing Rocky's belt and the trunks.
I saw
Rocky
one
Balboa's.
that has that picture of Rocky, the Rocky guy from Mask,
Yeah.
and it says, "Sorry, kid, I'm not Peyton Manning."
So,
Okay,
but anyhow,
hold on, real quick. I want to show you this.
okay, this is great
I'm not
for
ready. Go
podcast
ahead.
listeners. Anyway, I've been wanting for a long time. I've been wanting somebody to make a Mask film, and for whatever reason, I don't know why Hasbro.
Live
hasn't
characters
done it.
would be easy to do because they're just people. There's nothing special about them.
Right.
Like the vehicles could be easily done.
See that?
Yeah.
Okay. And now, tell me The Rock is not Panthro. Put some ears on him and make him blue.
You could. Anyway, I've been tossing around this idea in my head for several years, so I've got this idea of actually writing out a spec script and possibly sending it to Hasbro and say, hey,
A Thundercats the movie?
no,
Mask.
Mask.
Oh, we've just already given up on what
Well,
I
you
was
were
talking
looking for
about.
Panthro, so I was going on.
We still haven't cast the rest of the Thundercats. It can't just be The Rock.
Okay,
Who's your Lion-O?
Channing Tatum.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
that's a good one, but
I mean, for nowadays, I think previously Brad Pitt would have been a good one.
He's too short. Lion-O's pretty tall.
Channing Tatum. Who else would be a good? Who would be Chitara? You'd have to go black, right?
No.
no, 'cause-
Asian?
The chick from if I were to use somebody for that, I would do
Daryl
what's her name?
Hannah.
She couldn't
Too
stand
old,
up right now.
Yeah.
I would use. Hold on, I gotta find her name. I can't remember her name.
I'm just looking at some of the pictures online of these.
Ronda Rousey?
No.
Would she make a good guitar?
Too big.
You need a
I think she's a little too big.
taller, a tall woman who's
She's gotta be
Scarlett Johansson.
Too short.
Yeah.
What?
She's a little too short too. They're all really tall.
Uma Thurman.
Yes. No.
Past her prime.
That's the right shape.
Yeah.
Right direction.
How tall is Uma Thurman?
At least 6 foot.
No, I'm not talking about her height. Talking about her.
No.
Not talking about her height. Talking about her frame.
Uma Thurman is not 6 foot.
Maybe.
Malin Ackerman.
Maybe.
From?
I can make up words too, Bob.
Where's she from?
She was in Watchmen. She was
Watchmen and a bunch of other stuff.
and the first Harold and Kumar. She's the one that showed her boobs. I could almost go with that one with Malin Ackerman. These other characters, you got 2 kids.
Wally Kit and Wally Cat.
Yeah, you got 2 kids here. It would be too easy to say that Hit Girl could be the girl in here. The girl that played Hit Girl. I can't remember her name.
She's too old now, though.
Yeah, and it looks like they're maybe 11 or 12.
Yeah.
That's about the age.
5'11", Uma Thurman. I told you she wasn't 6 foot.
Oh, sorry.
You know who Snarf is? Kevin Hart.
He would do the voice.
Yeah.
He would do the voice. He would do the voice, but Gollum would have to be the character.
Yeah, CGI for sure. Because you can't get a talking dog.
So, got Channing Tatum as Lino. The Rock is Panthro. Who is our Chitara? Is that the hardest one to? It
is a pretty hard one to come with. We need Tiger.
And
too.
you need and the Tiger dude too.
Brad Pitt could be Tiger.
Yeah.
Pitt could be Tiger.
You do want somebody older in that role, but I'm just trying to think of the look, the fit. What about the bad guys though?
Mumra?
Mumra would be
Batista.
Gary Oldman.
No.
Oh, you know who would make a great Tigra? Chris Pratt.
Yeah, but you don't want to stick him in everything.
Why
doesn't
not?
matter.
It's amazing.
Oh, sorry, I'm going back to that whole who cares.
Who's bad like a better couple years than Chris Pratt? Honestly, think about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I don't disagree with that.
And he's been great in everything too. He's not putting out flops. I mean, his movies are probably made, over $2 billion in the last 2 summers alone.
Right.
Between Guardians of the Galaxy and Jurassic World.
But, I agree with that. But I mean, do you really put all the money making on Chris Pratt, or do you put it on
the franchise?
Fucking Spielberg? I mean, you know.
Well, I mean, he's the common thread between those 2 movies. Spielberg didn't put out Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, but he put out Jurassic Park.
He didn't put out Jurassic World, though.
All right. Well,
if Chris Pratt isn't in Jurassic World, do you think it's still as big?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Replacing him with who?
Replace him with an unknown, somebody new.
No.
See, I don't think so either. I don't think it's as big.
I don't think like
they're not going there to see Chris Pratt.
The chick who
Nobody watched the trailer and said, "Oh my God, it's Chris Pratt." They said,
No.
"Oh my God, it's
no. I'm willing to bet a lot of people did.
There's a lot of women who would argue that fact with you. But the chick who played the aunt wasn't overly impressive as far as a character goes. Him playing that character brought a lot more to that movie.
It made it seem more legitimate.
Right.
Seemed like it was going to be a better movie.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just put anybody in it, but also...
Hell, the first movie had Sam Neill and what's her name? And
but the first movie was the first of its kind.
Right. But they weren't box office draws. So.
This was following 2 kind of failed sequels. I mean, I know financially they did well, but they weren't well received. And so I'm sure you probably had some people that were looking at that first trailer and going, oh God, they're doing another Jurassic Park. And then you see Chris Pratt and it's like, oh, holy shit, they're taking this serious. They got the biggest star. He's the biggest star right now.
I agree. He had definitely had an impact.
So here's his 2014/2015. Guardians of the Galaxy, the Lego Movie, the final 2 seasons of Parks and Rec, and Jurassic World. Who's had a better 2 years?
Oh, I'm not saying he hasn't. So, you got anything that you think should be remade?
Police Academy.
Police Academy 8.
Yeah, as if they haven't made enough of those.
Yeah.
I believe that if I were to watch, if I wanted to see anything made or remade,
Remade for
Either.
either. Okay. I would say I would like to see a better job done of the G.I. Joe movies.
Yeah.
I didn't like where they went with them as much as being a big fan of G.I. Joe.
Channing Tatum was in the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
a
said
couple
he
minutes of
hated
the
it.
second one, and a couple minutes of the second.
He said he hated the first one.
Yeah, I think that's why he was killed so quickly in the second one.
Because he said he was a huge fan of G.I. Joe. He
Yeah.
was disappointed with what they did with it.
Well, I mean, and then why did you cast a Wayans brother as Ripcord? Like that's a pretty serious character.
Yeah, but
like,
Marlon
story-wise-
Wayans is a very underrated actor.
But story wise, knowing I'm telling you, I'm a big GI Joe geek. Like I collected them as a kid. Like I know everything. Ripcord's character from even from the cards, he's an academic and like a geek, not a geek, but like a Harvard trained cadet.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's a really smart guy, and then you put Marlon Wayans. That doesn't even make any sense to me whatsoever.
Have
like
you seen
following
Senseless?
Yeah.
He's played
That's
an
a-
Ivy League student.
But I think that's probably more of a studio. This will bring people.
Well, and I understand that, but I just think that, they're still like changing the dynamics of different characters in the movies and like just making it they just gave it a name and put it on there. You know, and that's I think it could be remade and made better if they stuck a little more to the story and a lot less to.
How'd you feel about the second one? They brought in The Rock.
I liked his character in there.
RZA was horrible.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know why they keep putting him in roles like that.
I don't know.
The Snake Eyes storyline, Jinx and him were solid. Firefly was a solid character in there. The characters themselves were good. The story was just kind of boring, and the fact that they had G.I. Joe in it kind of threw it out too. I like Bruce Willis, but I don't like that they just put him in there as a generic character.
Yeah,
in that respect. So
I think they should. Here's something they should have done.
Doug Jones would need to play Mumbo.
Who?
Doug Jones.
Doug Jones.
I don't know who that is.
Big character actor.
Yeah, he's a character actor and does a lot of CG work.
He could definitely do Mumbo. Not
Pan's Labyrinth, I think is what he's doing.
yeah, Pan's Labyrinth, Ace Sapiens from Hellboy. Yeah, he does a lot of stuff.
I was gonna say what they should have done was cast. This is now you're gonna laugh, but I'm only saying it because he was in Transformers. But cast Tyrese in G.I. Joe as the same character, but you actually find out what his name is and find out he's actually a G.I. Joe character.
Well, mind you, there are a lot of G.I. Joe Transformer crossovers.
Exactly my point. Along with what's his name? That was
Josh Duhamel.
Josh Duhamel.
Josh
Both of them.
Josh Duhamel would have been a good G.I. Joe character.
Yeah, I think both of them. That way you get a little bit of a crossover.
He would have made a better Duke or Hawk than the two that they used.
Yeah.
I'd like to see. It's not a movie, but I'd like to see a Quantum Leap TV show turned into a movie. Well.
Yeah. I stutter. I stutter on that just because I remember when I was a kid and it went off the air. I was trying to start its petition to bring it back on the air. Yeah. So yeah, I'm totally down with that. Quantum Leap was one of my favorites as a kid. One of the shows I watched that like every.
Never watched Quantum Leap.
Really?
Do you know what it is?
I know it's about a guy who jumps in between times.
Right.
Yeah, and different
and that's
people.
from Family Guy. I know that from Family Guy.
And different people.
Yeah, he's different people, and at one point it was Stephen King. I remember that episode.
Yeah.
But anyhow, we've all kind of killed that. So I guess we're gonna.
I'll be.
Did you find Chitara or Chitara yet?
I still think you can make Scarlett Johansson look taller. Like I don't think it's one of those like either
It has
or.
to be the right height. I think Scarlett Johansson, I mean, she could definitely play the part for sure. Because, I mean, if you look at her, and as bad as this movie was, what was the one she just did where she was the evolved chick? Lucy?
Yeah. Lucy.
Like, that character, she was pretty badass in that as that character
That's what I'm
as far as being that Chitara role could probably work.
I guess this just goes to show that there are not a lot of actresses out there that we can just spit off right at the top of our heads that can fit these type of roles. So they're kind of lacking.
There's a number of Asian actresses that could probably do it.
Elizabeth Berkley would have been a good option back in the day. She's tall from Saved by the Bell, Jesse Spano.
Yeah.
Showgirls.
You know, I'll tell you what I think they should remake from the 80s. I wish they would do like a remake of Ghostbusters, but use an all-female
cast. I think that's a wonderful idea.
Thank you for joining us for episode 31. Is that right?
Sure.
Yes, episode 31. We want to thank Caricature. Is Caricature? Did they get
the guy that draws
cartoon artist
stuff.
Bob East.
He gets it on the last tiny segment.
On behalf of Vic Miller, I'm Brad Scott.
But not me.
Not Corey Miller. We'll see you next time.